Considering the amount of control time that Jillian Robertson was able to muster up against Luana Pinheiro last weekend, she was unable to get the job done for us and cashed that under 2.5 ticket. So we have to rip up our lock of the night play for UFC Vegas 100. Luckily, we did still hit 2 of our lock of the night plays over the weekend with the regional shows that we covered. So that now brings our yearly record to 78-38 for a plus 16.94 unit profit and a 3% ROI. Again, it's not where I want to be, but I'm happy to be in the green at least. At least it's not a losing endeavor at this point in time, but definitely want to be much further along than where we are right now. So hopefully the last month and a half or so, we can continue to get further into the green and be a little bit more proud of the Lock of the Night moniker. Obviously, got another 3 Lock of the Night candidates for you guys for this UFC 309 card. Again, a little tardy with the content this week, so I do appreciate you guys bearing with me and understanding that got some life stuff going on as well that needed to be taken care of, but I still want to deliver on all the content that I normally do, even if it's not at the time that I normally deliver it, but definitely way more in advance of the fight card so you guys can digest it as well. Reminder, there is also Cage Warriors going down Friday morning, not to mention KSW 100 going down Saturday morning/afternoon. So if you want access to those breakdowns, I'll have them in written form for you guys on the MMA LOTN Patreon page. Check the link in the description below for that. All right, let's not waste too much more time. Let's get right into the top 3 Lock of the Night candidates that I have for UFC 309. A reminder, this doesn't mean that I play every single one of these spots. This only means that one of these 3 gets the official Lock of the Night moniker, and that tag, the people on the MMA LOTN Patreon folks, they already know who it is. So if you want to be a part of that, check out the link in the description below, as I said. Otherwise, drop a comment below. Let me know who your Lock of the Night play is, or if you don't agree with any of the 3 that I've dropped, again, only one of them can be the Lock of the Night play. So first candidate up is going to be Veronica Hardy, coming in at minus 140 as she's looking to continue to build upon her winning streak since she returned in early 2023. She goes up against Eduardo Mora this weekend, who is a grapple heavy fighter, and showcased last time around against Denise Gomez that if she can't get that grappling going early, she will start to make a lot of mistakes and make it easier for her opponents to land more damage and end up coming out ahead of her. Mora is being forced up to 125 pounds for this weekend's card, but I do believe that Hardy is still the better fighter overall and has good enough defensive skills to stay away from that grappling threat of Mora, which will allow her to get the better of her in the first and second rounds, specifically with the striking and speed advantage that Hardy will hold in this matchup. I also believe in the active guard that we see Hardy portray off of her back, and I think that could potentially lead to a finish, especially with how sloppy and irresponsible Mora starts to get later on in matchups, considering how she starts to slow down. I do like Hardy here, hence why she is the first Lock of the Night candidate. The second Lock of the Night candidate is going to be Oban Elliott, coming in at minus 280, going up against Basil Hafez. Now, Elliott is a guy that I bet against heavily last time around, and he proved me wrong with flying colors as well, passed that test for flying colors. He took the pace and pressure of Parsons, shut it down by stuffing all of his takedown attempts and then putting pressure on him with his volume-heavy approach with the striking and much improved striking game all around. He does a very good job in terms of putting combinations together and not throwing a whole lot of power behind his shots, but continuously sticking his opponents with combinations and landing that stinging power that will obviously cause a lot of frustration from his opponents, slowing them down, causing them to shoot desperation takedown attempts, which ultimately causes them to deplete their gas tanks even quicker. I'm impressed with Elliott's improvements in terms of his cardio, his takedown defense, and ability to have some success in the striking realm, and I expect that to pay off for him here against Hafez, who's a grapple-heavy fighter as well. And we know he can go out there and strike, but I think he's going to be at a speed disadvantage in this matchup, and I think Elliott can do a good enough job in terms of staying away from the power that Hafez provides, and then from there, picking him apart and winning this fight on the scorecards. The third and final Lock of the Night candidate is going to be Marcin Tybura, coming in at minus 145. Now, I get it. Jonata Deniz is the new shiny thing on the block with his perfect record, knocking out all of his opponents, except Carl Williams last time around, but he still showcases some issues in the grappling realm, which is where I think Tybura is going to be able to take full advantage. Tybura is one of the more complete and experienced heavyweights on the roster, and I think that's going to come into play here against Deniz, who's, I believe, only 9 or 10 fights into his pro MMA fight career. Again, he is showing improvements in his takedown defense, Diniz that is, but we still see him getting stuck on his back when he is being taken down. And I think a large part of that last time around against Carl Williams was that Carl Williams was scared to go for the takedowns early because maybe some out of cage things forced him to fight that way, which inevitably got him cut anyway. I don't think Tybura will be scared by those UFC tactics in terms of putting on more entertaining fights. I think Tybura is just too experienced, too tenured at this point in time to abide by those things, and I think he's going to go out there, look for the takedown early, and I think that will eventually lead to him getting a submission here, probably arm triangle choke, maybe even getting the back of Diniz and getting the choke that way as well. So give me Tybura as the third and final lock of the night candidate. Again, only one of these can be the official lock of the night play for UFC 309. It's posted on the MMA LOTN Patreon page. Otherwise, drop a comment below and try to guess who it is, and we'll recap it next week and see if you guys are able to get it right. All right, I will be back later this evening for the top 3 dog of the night candidates. See you guys then.